I've worked for the Zurich Group for about 9 years, and the opportunity came up to join Endsleigh, which is a subsidiary of Zurich, as the Chief Operating Officer. And I jumped at the opportunity. It was sort of my heritage, if you like. It's managing call centre operations, customer interfaces, and a great programme of continuous improvement. So it was a really attractive role, and I've been here around 2.5 years. First and foremost, we're a student insurer, and that's our heritage, and that's what we hang on to. And you will see that in everything that we do. The marketing that we pull together, our approach to customers is very student-centric, because that is our heritage. But alongside that, we have a very, very dynamic culture where we're very open to change, and we like continuous improvement. You will see it in every one of our people. Continuous improvement is what drives our daily activities. Zurich is a very much a global insurer, and Endsleigh is a subsidiary of the global insurer. But the great relationship that we have with Zurich as a group is that they have left us a bit at arm's length, not wanting to stifle the innovation that Endsleigh brings in the insurance marketplace in the UK, and allowing us to be close to our customer base and making sure that we can develop solutions that are nimble and can respond quickly to market challenges. That indeed means that we're able to share best practice back up the chain with Zurich. Zurich very much operates as a global insurer, driving best practice around global capabilities wherever possible, but very much focuses on the countries that it operates in and making sure that it's a customer-centric model that goes to market in each of those countries. We started in 2012 introducing a lot more capability around demand planning. So recognising the demands that our customers make of us in terms of wanting to access our services, and making sure that we aligned our people and our capabilities with the demand patterns that we see. So that was the first part of our journey. We then moved on into a continuous improvement phase, which was really about adopting the lean methodology, which meant that every single one of our customer-facing people was trained in lean and the methods that sit within lean, that we had opportunities to talk about things that cause difficulties to customers and empower people to fix them. And it's been great from a people engagement perspective and from a customer journey perspective. But of course, it very much is focused on the performance metrics and on the process journey that our customers go through. The next phase for us, and the thing that I think actually wrapped its arms around all of the other deliveries that we've worked on, has been the brand biology piece, where we've really equipped our people not only to deliver the best practice processes, but to deliver the best practice interaction with our customers by being able to identify customer types and respond to them in an effective way. We use two principal measures. We measure what we call top box scores. So that's how many times a customer will rate us 5 out of 5 in 4 dynamics. And the dynamics are things like how knowledgeable are our people, how helpful, how friendly are our people. The other measure that we use is the traditional NPS measure, which of course is so important because it's about us understanding the propensity for customers to stay with us as a business, which is of course a business benefit to us. So they're the two main areas of customer centricity that we measure, and through measuring that, we could see a pattern. You know, customers actually didn't only want knowledge, didn't only want to have their query resolved, they also wanted us to engage with their very being and why they were buying from us as a business. And that for me was an important area of development in our journey. If I talk about the areas where we identified there was a need for us to do something different, it really was about the ability of our people to engage more effectively with our customers, giving them the tools and the capabilities to be able to make the best out of every contact that a customer had with us. We had already fixed some of the process capabilities, some of the measurement capabilities. This was about equipping our people to give a far more customer-centric journey. So we started a search to understand what capabilities existed in the marketplace and how we could go about closing that gap in a way that made a difference to our business. And that's where we chose brand biology. Effectively, the brand biology journey's wrapped its arms around all the other transformational steps that we've taken within our contact centres. But the thing that's made it so much more powerful for us has been how effective it has been in engaging our people. And not only have we got great customer centricity as a consequence of brand biology, we've got some great people engagement, which in itself is a major benefit to us. But I think the journey and why the journey's been so great has been basically the process that we've gone through with brand biology. The diagnostic phase, understanding our business, understanding our customers, understanding our people, understanding the language that we use on a regular basis, because that's the very dynamic of who we are as a business. Then being able to understand our business drivers, our priorities, what we're trying to achieve as a business, and then converting it into such an engaging training program for our people. And those things, for me, are what really make the brand biology journey stick beyond just a training course. Let me tell you a bit more about how we adopted the brand biology journey and some of the pressures that we faced as a business. Because it's a bit of a leap of faith, if I'm honest. Educate your people in how to be far more customer centric, and it will give you a much greater sort of sales through service capability. And if you're a traditional sales-based organisation, that's quite a leap to take in your journey. So there was a lot of internal discussion, and we had to demonstrate what we were looking to achieve through that. But there were other market factors at play here. We could demonstrate very clearly what our customers were saying about our service. Great process, great product, but I want more. And that was the people engagement that we could give, and we could demonstrate the measurement around that. Other dynamics, such as the regulation that sits around the marketplace that we work in. Increasingly, we are looking more at customer outcomes. It's a customer demand as well as a regulator demand. And traditional sales-based programs with minimum threshold sales targets just are not that sort of world that we want to occupy anymore. So it was really important that we looked at the performance management of our business alongside the brand biology journey, and therefore how we equip our people to be far more customer centric and focus on the customer outcomes. For me, it's about the approach. I've already mentioned there's a great diagnostic phase that gets under the skin of our business, the culture that we have, the language that we use, the business priorities that we're focusing on. But then if you look at the training itself, it's unlike any other training program that certainly our people will have been on at Endsleigh, where you've got actors coming in, acting out real life scenarios that people can identify with immediately. They can see their day-to-day work being played out in front of them, and it allows them to identify with the pitfalls that they face and some of the challenges that they face when they're talking to customers. I think the other dynamic that really engages the people in the journey of brand biology is their own sort of reflections. They identify their own personal types, and that allows them to understand why they might find it difficult to talk with certain customer groups, and maybe how they need to adapt their style to respond to that. And I think it's that very thing, that voyage of self-discovery, alongside equipping people with toolkits, that really makes this stick as a programme. Probably there's a thought process that says, is this just equipping our people to be like everybody else? Where do you get standout when you're talking to customers, and how do they identify that they're talking to Endsleigh rather than any other insurance provider in the market? And the reality is, for me, it goes back to the diagnostic phase, where our very culture is diagnosed and understood with brand biology, and therefore they're playing in tools and techniques that allow us to enhance our culture, enhance our philosophy. We very much have a culture of continuous improvement, and the brand biology journey works perfectly with that. Our people now look for greater opportunities to improve the customer journey because they're now so much closer to the customer type that they're servicing, and they therefore understand much more about what that customer needs and wants and how they need to respond to it. It's worth us exploring where I personally believe brand biology now sits alongside some of the more technical training that we do around financial services. And for me, it sits hand in glove. Our leaders are equipped to lead people, and we spend a lot of time and put a lot of effort into making sure that they are great at leading people. So it's logical to me that we should invest the same amount of time and effort in not only giving our people that talk to our customers every day great technical knowledge around our products and our services, but also that we equip them with the key skills of talking to customers, dealing with customers, and making sure that they feel comfortable in responding to customer needs. Why wouldn't you do that? It's just common sense. Our NPS scores are up in all areas, and for us that's so important because it influences the potential for that customer to renew and buy repeat business with us, and we can spot trends around that happening with the teams that are interfacing with customers on a regular basis. We see all of our top box scores, that's how many times the customer rates us 5 out of 5, they've all uplifted in a way that we would hope. So 90% of our customers now rate us 5 out of 5 in every dynamic that we measure in. And that's a great place to be, and certainly a major uplift following the brand biology programme. And all of those things translate into business performance. So how many times a customer buys a product from us, how many times a customer renews, how long a customer stays with us, and we can track positive momentums in all of those areas, which is a great place for us to be. It's probably worth exploring why the results that I've just talked about are so important to Endsleigh, given that we're largely an online business servicing students, and arguably they're the most digital savvy customers that any business would want to service. And it's very true. A lot of our business is traded online, but you've also got to bear in mind that for a lot of students, some of their financial services products are the first experience of purchasing in this sort of world. And the need to get support to be able to answer questions from people that can understand their needs, understand where they are in their journey, is just fundamental. And therefore, equipping our frontline people with the ability to be able to respond to those questions that our customer demographic has is fundamental. And that's why brand biology is such a major part of the training that we now endorse. Everybody is engaged in the programme, and I think because they've been equipped with skills that perhaps weren't trained before, it's been a real voyage of self-discovery, which has meant that we've got just a general level of engagement that's really, really healthy in our business. Engaged in the customer journey that they're supporting, engaged in the business dynamics that we're focusing on and trying to deliver, and engaged in the teams that they work in. There's a lot more self-performance management as a consequence of the brand biology journey that we've been on, in that frontline members of staff are quality marking each other's scores, and it's a very open workplace now as a consequence of the training that they've had. Without doubt, everyone would say it's transformed the way that we work here at Endsleigh. Not only has it equipped our people with the capabilities to engage with customers that they just didn't have before. It's changed the very way that we performance manage, the way we monitor, the way we check in with our people. We've adapted some of our traditional HR processes to reflect the brand biology journey that we've been through, just to ensure that it's sustainable. It's not something that's just a one-day training course. It's something that really underpins a change in direction for our contact centres here at Endsleigh. And our people feel that. They feel far more equipped to handle every single call that they get than they've ever had before. And of course, that's great, because not only does it give a great customer experience, it does mean that things like our first call resolution rates will increase, and that's great from an engagement point of view. If asked the question, would I recommend this programme to other organisations, then resoundingly I would say yes. It's about equipping your people to be able to have the right conversations and identify the right needs from the customers that contact you. That is fundamental for any customer-facing business, that you get that right. I think the other thing that I would reflect on in saying yes, absolutely, it's a recommendation, is the business results that we can clearly demonstrate that we've achieved as a consequence of the brand biology work. And the third area really to consider is how effectively you can engage with a partner like brand biology. I go back to the diagnostic, the bespoke training delivery, and that for me means that the programme will be focused around your business drivers and what you want to achieve from your interfaces with your customers. For me, it's the ability to understand our business, our customers and our people. It stands out as against any other training programme that we would ever have delivered before or have considered before. And it's so tailored to what we want to achieve as a business and how our people and our culture is here at Endsleigh. And that is such a different approach, and for me really makes it stand out. And the outputs are clear. The customer engagement that we've been able to achieve as a consequence of going through brand biology, and more importantly the people engagement alongside that. We started in our service teams, so these are our teams that are dealing with the administration of policies that have already been purchased from us. We've been into the sales environment, and we're just starting our journey in the claims environment. And the claims one is a really interesting one for me, because this really is our shop window to our customers. We buy insurance should the worst happen, and that's really when we should be equipping our people to really understand customer dynamics and the needs of customers. So I watch that next deployment with absolute interest. Beyond that, for me, it's about making sure that we've got a sustainable model in place. So again, I go back to things like the performance management that we have in our centres, some of the tools, the techniques that we have in place to keep it live. So a lot of our teams once a month have a brand biology day. And it really is a great environment where people celebrate the skills that they've got and how they're achieving against the customer metrics that we now measure. For me, the really important dynamic that's come from brand biology has been the coaching support that our team leaders and our floor managers have received, which has made them look at performance management in a slightly different way, coaching our people to go that further mile with the customer, understanding more about the customer needs. It's been a great output. Well, it's interesting. Certainly I was not opposed to it, because, looking after contact centres, it's an entirely logical training programme to go through, equipping our people with the ability to give more to the customer. Why wouldn't I do it? But in terms of some of the stakeholders around the business, there perhaps has been more convincing required. And we've achieved that through being very clear about the targets that we're looking to achieve through the programme, and inviting them in, showing them the difference that we're making to the customer journey, to the customer experience, and allowing them to see the performance metrics that we're achieving as a consequence. And that's quite a fast engagement process for anyone that may be opposed. We've had a lot of interest from our parent company, Zurich, who are fascinated by the journey that we're taking our people on, which is a great endorsement to the programme and just underpins how much of a common sense training capability it is. In addition to that, I was delighted that we achieved a bronze award at the Customer Services Awards, so a great external sort of recognition of the journey that we've been on. Probably the answer is yes, and for me, brand biology has been the last component, equipping our people, and I probably would reorder that because it's been the wrapper that's held together demand planning, continuous improvement, career paths, everything else that we've done. And actually, I think it's probably one of the more important steps and probably needs to come earlier in the transformation journey that we've been on.